Morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on our this month's chair session. So just a brief introduction about myself. My name is Andy Blewett. I'm the chair specialist at Silvalea. I've had the thick end of 30 years experience in the healthcare industry in seating. It's kind of my thing. So yeah, so any questions, yeah, more than welcome, and I'll do my best to answer whatever I can for you. So just going to go over the chair. So we're going to do this session in a couple of sort of segments. I'm going to give you guys a brief sort of overview of the chair and all of the functions. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring Alice and Judith into the session. And we're going to do, we're going to a hoist, and we're going to use one of our in situ slings into the chair with Judith going in the chair. So onto the chair. As you can see, it's a super mobile, really maneuverable chair. It's on a 5-inch Tentade twin lock caster. Now, twin lock, as you probably know, means that it locks on the swivel as well as on a brake, so that you can really kind of get it locked off. So certainly when you're using it for hoisting or any kind of transfers, it's easily locked. Now we've got 3 twin lock casters, and then we've got one at the front. It's a green topped caster. Now that's actually an inline caster. So the idea of that is that you can flick that one on, and if you were, say, traveling down a hospital ward, it's going to help the chair sort of track in a straight line. Certainly when you've got somebody in the chair, it makes a big difference. Sort of stops all of that, kind of like when you come out of Sainsbury's and your shopping trolley wants to go kind of all over the shop. It helps with that. So you notice that the chair is quite slender. We've done that for a reason. It's designed that it will go through a standard doorway, which I certainly know in the community is a big deal, because it means that you're not into any home adaptations to, you know, widen doors and stuff to get the chair through. So, okay, so I'm just going to bring it this side so you can see this easier. So we've got tilting space, which is infinite locking. So that means whenever I let go of the lever here, you can lock it in position. And then we've got backrest adjustment as well, again with infinite locking, and you can work them both together to really achieve a sort of really optimum position for your user. I'm going to come around this side, spin it around here now, because I'm going to bring the leg rest up. So we've got a leg rest. So if you can imagine now, we can actually achieve a sleeping position. So, but one nice feature of this, certainly for us as moving and handling people, is the ability to open the wings and the arms. So, I mean, that obviously gives you access to your to the user in the chair. And I'm going to get into this a little bit more later when we're actually hoisting and we're using one of our in situ slings. It's a great opportunity to be able to check the sling, make sure there's no ruckles. So, but the chair also has the ability that you could come alongside a high-low bed and do a side transfer. Actually, this position here, I think, is probably really good to be able to show you. So all contact areas, right away from the back, all the way down over the leg rest, has got an air system in, which is medium to high risk. That air system comprises of 5 airbags that are all overlocked, and they all work together. So if you apply pressure, the pressure, as you can see, I don't know if you can actually see that from there, but when I push down here, the air finds sort of hollows. So certainly when you've got somebody on the chair, and for me personally, I can feel it straight away under my knees. The air just finds a hollow. So I'm going to bring it back into a seating position. And then rest down. Now you notice, I'll explain this a little bit more, but you'll notice these wings are sort of quite enclosed and quite big. That's also done for a reason. It works really, really well with people maybe with dementia, anybody searching for sensory feedback. In this position, you get a real sort of feeling of, you know, sort of contact. So it works really, really well. But if they didn't want that or didn't like that, we can bring the position out. Or if you've got somebody that's a little bit broader, let's say, we can bring these out into that position there. Just see if we can see that. So yeah, so you can do that. So that's nice and easy. We've got an adjustable headrest. Now this actually is attached by Velcro around the back. But literally, by undoing this, you can higher or lower the headrest. So, okay, and the frame, or where it's sitting on the frame, is high enough for any of the mobile hoists on the market that go under the chair really, really easy. So, I don't know if we've got any questions at this point. Maybe we could just do a nothing coming in. Okay. Okay, so we move on to the hoisting. Can I introduce Alice, please, and we'll. Chair back in the position.
Hello, everybody. Morning. So I'm just positioning Judith in underneath our hoist, as we have a gantry hoist here in the training studio. So ensuring that she's in the right position to be hoisted into the chair. For this transfer, we're going to be using the in situ recline sling. I'm sure you're all very familiar with this. It's a very commonly used sling. You might hear it being called a hammock sling, comfort recline, all sorts of different names. But this sling is our in situ recline. It's in Superfine Plus, which is one of our in situ fabrics, so very breathable, great for in situ use and for bathing. The in situ recline can be used for amputee scenarios because there's no aperture. We don't have to worry about the limb being caught or falling through the aperture. So it's a really good all-round sling. Now, normally we would obviously apply this in the bed because it doesn't have an aperture, so you can't introduce it from behind the back of the chair. However, just for demonstration purposes, we've put it on before we came into shot. So it's got the pommel here to be able to separate the knees so that you don't have to worry about pressure and the knees being pushed together. We've got adjustability here to be able to make it tighter or looser around the client's legs. So maybe if you've got somebody that has sensitive legs or edematous legs, then it's really accommodating for that. So it's really smooth underneath, and that's why we've used it for this transfer, because there's no aperture, there's no seams. So then to transfer from the chair, from the wheelchair into the chair, it works really well with this thing and the chair as well. It's a little bit tricky due to space, so I'm sorry I've got my back to you, but we'll hoist Judith up now, and then I'll turn around and we'll reposition her in the chair. Ready? Yeah. Just quickly, as you can see, Judith is in a really nice upright 90-degree position. Commonly with the name of this sling, recline, people assume that you have to be in a reclined position. You don't. It's just the nature and the name of. It's not the nature. It's the name of the sling. So you can do recline positioning in it. You just need to alter the pickups here or on the leg tapes, but you can achieve a really nice upright position. Obviously, Andy's already mentioned that there is tilt and space in the chair. So if you need to lean the chair back for like to introduce the chair to somebody, that's not a problem too. Okay. So Andy mentioned the importance of getting somebody's bottom right into the back of the chair so that the air system is nicely placed. So when introducing the Judith to the chair, we will make sure that her bottom is positioned right into the back of the chair, and we can achieve that really nicely with the recline.
All right, fantastic. So we just get that wheelchair out of the way.
Yeah.
Move this one quickly. Right. Great, thank you. I'm just going to take the brakes off now that I popped on earlier. I'm going to bring the chair alongside, sideways on, so hopefully you guys can see. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tilting space on now for Jude. I'm going to bring the legs up. And you might remember me saying about the side access and what a good opportunity this is now to check that the sling is in a really good position. So what I'd be looking for now here is first, Julie, that Jude's all the way back onto the lumbar support, so the chair's going to work as good as it can for her. And also, obviously, with using an in situ sling, it's a great opportunity now to check that there's no wrinkles, that Jude's not sitting on anything, no tapes in the way. And if you can see that clearly there, you can see here that that's all good. What I do if I'm involved in an assessment, this is an opportunity here that I'll sort of tuck some of this excess sling away, and I just tap it in behind the arm there, and the same on the back here. Just everything kind of all good. So there we go. Just make sure the brakes are off. How's that feel, Jude? Yeah. There we go. So we can just make sure that you can see that I've got that in shot. Tell you what, for the sake of repeating myself, I'm going to do the other side. So I can see that all of the slings all bunched up here. Okay, so again, that good opportunity to get in here. Just check that everything's all good, no wrinkles. I'm going to get the tape out of the way. Just hold that in there. Like that. Down here. I can make sure that we're all good and literally fold in. I tend to fold inwards, just seems to keep everything together a little bit better. So, there we go. So, now this is well, I've got Judith in the chair. It's a good opportunity just to explain a few of the accessories we've got with the chair to you guys. So I'm just going to open this position one. So we actually do a footrest. Footrest basically drops in the bottom there, and it gives you 8 inches of travel sort of up and down, so you can kind of take care of somebody's feet. Again, if I'm doing any assessments where anybody would be searching for sensory feedback, and especially sort of Alzheimer's, dementia, I'll put the footrest on and like to connect people's feet, because again, that delivers that sensory feedback and helps people feel grounded. So we've got a footrest that takes care of that. We also do a meal tray, which is this. And this literally drops into these arms and slides forwards and back for adjustment. So you can kind of bring it sort of closer or further away from the user. Obviously, if you're using the meal tray, certainly if there's going to be a drink on it, let's say, you need to make sure that the chair's in a level position. So now, as a moving and handling people, part of the process of designing this chair, knowing that our user group are going to be predominantly hoisted in, what I didn't want to do was have any through the back lateral supports, any positioning, because they tend to get snagged. We sort of see it a lot when we're involved in either seating assessments or sling assessments. It is a cause of slings riding up if they get caught on any sort of wedges that are attached to the chair. So that was important for me not to want to do that. So for positioning, we've got a couple of positioning rolls. So this is a 1 meter roll, and as you can see, that they're super pliable. They're fiber filled with a full access zip, and the idea is that, you know, if you need to take some of the filling out to achieve the absolute optimum position, you know, feel free to do so. It's really, this is something that, you know, it's not an exact science. Everybody's different. If I can just get you to, so say we're working with somebody that we perhaps wind sweep to this side of the chair. I'm just going to see if I can pop this in first, Jude. All right, this gives you just a little bit of, let's get your arm up on there like so. This does give you a little bit of an option, just see if you can see that there. So yeah, so that's the 1 meter one. And then, so if we were looking to offer lateral supports both sides of the chair, we do a 2 metre one, and this tends to get used predominantly in this sort of shape, sort of a horseshoe shape, sort of right over the chair. You wait for me to swap this around? So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the headrest out of the way. Now, if I was doing an assessment, I tend to get into the fibre filling and I remove some in the middle, sort of around that sort of mark. It gives me the opportunity. You can kind of make a little bit of a net trough, just so that it's not sort of too bulky behind the head. Just going to bring that in there too. Right. That one like so. Like so. So again, this is the material we're using here is a Dartex, which is even used on the chair. So all of the contact areas on the chair has got Dartex, which you probably know is sort of breathable as well as being water resistant. Super easy to clean. So any of the antibacterial wipes or sprays, obviously as long as they're alcohol free. But vinyl doesn't like anything with alcohol, and I don't think there's a lot of that about those days anyway. So, but how does that feel?
Very comfortable. It's nice regarding the back of my legs.
Yeah.
Because the air pockets, it's just like you say, the hollow part is just.
Well, what tends to happen here? So with the user in the chair, the air system naturally finds the any kind of like hollows, and obviously I notice a lot under my knees. But it's also been designed that if somebody went into, say, contractures and sort of stiffened out and tried to slide out of the chair, the more weight that gets pushed downwards makes this front edge higher. So it makes it incredibly difficult for somebody to slide out of the chair. So, and on that point, we do actually, another accessory we do is a lap belt. But they tend to very much sort of built or manufactured to order by ourselves. So we'd always sort of recommend trying the chair without a lap belt. But I do appreciate that there's some scenarios where it's needed. But how you feeling, June? Probably a good point to see if anybody's got any questions. No questions? Is there anything that anybody would like me to perhaps go over again? Look at?
Is that you'll do assessments?
Yeah, okay. Well, look, guys, you've got our customer service email address. If anybody's interested in any assessments, whether that's for slings or the chair, we're more than happy to, I'm more than happy to bring the chair out and doing any assessments with you guys and support you as much as I can. And depending on your location, we actually have got a handful of dealer partners throughout the UK. So we've got things in place that we can kind of take care. As far as delivery, we've got chairs in stock, so we're kind of good to go. Any other questions?
I have a question. I have a question. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it like one size, or is it do you have two different sizes? Because we go from, some of our clients are very tiny, so they are using pediatrics, and some of them rather large, and so I wonder if there is a difference in sizing.
Okay, so at this point we've just stuck with this chair as a standard chair. I know that sort of in the future or sort of down the track, we're looking, probably the next chair that we'll go to is the pediatric, which will take care of, to be fair, really small adults as well. But I mean, that's one thing with this, with the bolsters. I mean, I've had sort of smaller ladies and gentlemen in the chair recently, and used the bolsters really just to sort of like
feel that small lady.
You are a small lady too.
But myself, so or 4'10".
Yeah.
So this is
so the internal
size.
The internal seat width is 20 inches. But if you did need to create a little bit more space, I'm just going to pop these out one position, Jude. I don't know if you can hear that. It's just clicked. We can increase the seat width a little bit. Those can go back down now. That. Don't know how well that's seen on the camera. Can you guys all see that? Okay. We have also just done a new brochure, which we can send you a paper copy, or it's available on our website as a download. as is a lot of information, sizing, and everything about the chair. If any of you want any like mapping results or anything like that, I can email that you. If you drop me an email or contact customer service, they'll push that on to me and I'll send you out the mapping. Any more questions? No, we're all good. No, I don't think there's anything else we need to add. Okay,
Oh,
guys.
hang on, we've got one question.
Okay.
How supportive are the cushions? But how supportive are the cushions?
So they're kind of classed as medium to high risk is the pressure care in the system. I mean, this is a really tactile product. I mean, it's something that you really should try. The feeling of total support and sort of contact with the chair feels amazing. It really does feel good. But yeah, we're classing it as medium to high risk. And that's based on the mapping and the trials, the clinical trials that have been done in Australia. Any more questions, guys? Okay, well, look, we really appreciate your time and joining us for this March session. If there is certain things that you'd like to see us do in any training sessions going forward, maybe, you know, drop us some remarks. That would be good. But yeah, appreciate your time. Thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you very
joining us.
much for joining. Like Andy said, if you'd like to book an assessment, please just contact our customer services and we'd be more than happy to bring the chair out and do a demo for you and the team, or if yeah, just to have a feel of it, just let us know. But thank you very much for joining the session and hopefully see you on the next one.